It's the win. Listen, laugh, and learn and understand. Hope, believe that you can. It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.
Welcome to the WIN Show. We are so glad you joined us. I'm Paula Fellingham, CEO of the Women's Information Network. We're at thewinonline.com. We're the online home for all women, all ages. We're a community of women helping women live joyful lives filled with passion and purpose. Our hosts today are Angela Johnson. She's the CEO of the Illuminated Woman and Business Divas. Laura Lee Christensen is the Executive Vice President of the WIN. And Kim Coles is an actress, a comedian, a speaker, and a show host. Our guest today is Tiffany Berg. You know, in tough times, in economic times like we have today, women are hungry for the essential tools to help them succeed on every level. To give us these tools, we've invited success coach Tiffany Berg, Mrs. Utah in 2007. She's the author of several books on emotional wellness. Tiffany has overcome addiction, as well as losing her husband to cancer just 2 months ago. She's a veteran of tough times and is the host of Succeeding Gracefully. We are so happy you're with us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is a great venue for women to get fabulous information that can really help them in their lives.
Thank you.
Tiffany, I'm blown away that you're here with the adversity that you personally experienced so very recently. It's inspiring to me, just that you're here.
You.
And you address this a lot in your show. What is the main thing you think that women struggle with today?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that women are buckling under the pressure of finances and physical needs, and really not making the deposits into their physical resource that they, or reservoirs that they need. Emotionally, they feel depleted. They've lost a lot of their dreams. So that buckling, that sinking feeling, I think
that's
really
kind of pervasive through our whole society right now. And so what's the answer?
Well, I think if we look at it and divide it into two parts, women are feeling hopeless and they're also feeling helpless. And so if we look at those words, hopeless, I've lost hope, and helpless, I don't think that there's help for me, then we can actually make a discerning choice. Where do I need help? Where have I lost hope? And if we divide it into those two categories, then we can actually articulate what our needs are and get those met.
Okay. And even asking the question in that way may give you ideas from the past of where you've gleaned hope in past situations. Perhaps you return to that spot again to find, or you're looking for new ways to find it. Well,
and I think there are ways too that we can inspire ourselves when we realize, wow, I've lost the hope that I used to have. We can pull out magazines and we can scrapbook and we can renew what those purposes were, those drives were. And if we can identify it's hopeless or helpless, maybe I need help, maybe I need education in certain areas.
I love your idea of scrapbooking, because essentially what you're doing when you do that is looking back at the good things in your life. The things, because that's what you take pictures of, are the happy moments. And so reflecting on the abundance that you have had in the past may help fill that reservoir.
Absolutely. And I think especially right now with our economy, women have lost that feeling that things are possible.
Yes.
And I think when we surround ourselves with other women that have hope and they know their resources, then that builds us as well.
Well, and you have every reason to be a little discouraged during this tender time, but I know you're a very, very strong woman. And how do you help other women become strong like you? What do you suggest to them? What are some of the components of that?
Well, I think ultimately losing my husband was tragic in that it ended a lot of the dreams that we had together. But in some ways, I look at it also as a celebration, because he was one of those individuals that pursued his dreams, no matter his circumstances. And he was sick for 1.5 years. And during that 1.5 years, he had this bucket list that was, for anyone, seemed impossible. And yet this man had so much drive. And given his circumstances, there were so many resources that stepped into play to help him accomplish his dreams, that I think it inspired me to pursue my passions more fully, as well as our children, seeing that even in the face of adversity, And his definitely was, because it was cancer in the throat and the face and the mouth. Ultimately, in the face of adversity, you can still have passion and purpose and humor and
Love that
God.
message. I love that message.
And so then now you take all these lessons that you learned working with him and going through your challenge, and now you give it to other women.
And my
And give
goal
this
is
out.
to really make it morally relevant, but also morally responsive. I think what we're seeing is an overload of information. The media is bombarding us with cerebral information, but it doesn't connect to our soul. And it's not a call to action. And unless we have those calls to action, we don't change. And that's really where happiness comes from, is becoming something.
Yes.
That journey, and not even always the destination, but that journey with other women, with other people, in relationships.
Give us
And
a call
so-
to action right now.
Well, I look at women today and I wonder if they really know who they are. And obviously that's something that I'm looking at right now being a single mom. But understanding, what is my favorite color? What is my favorite song? Well, if I could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? And I think sometimes when we're in a family dynamic or a marriage dynamic, we forget who we are separate. And so I've been doing a lot of fun things with my girlfriends, dressing up and going to an 80s party, dressing up and going to see Julia with,
Julia.
with
Julia.
aprons. And, I think remembering who we really are is so important. And I think in the busyness and the information, we've forgotten that. So if there was a call to action, it would be, if you could remember or find one thing about your personality that maybe you've forgotten, what would that
Ooh,
be?
I like that.
I'm writing that one down.
You could find one thing about your personality, about you. What would that be? I like that.
Because that really is kind of the fragrance of who we are, and sometimes we lose that as moms.
we do.
Well, and I'm hearing you're mentioning a lot of simple things in life, but they're a lot bigger than we think they are. And so what's one of the biggest resources that strengthen women's lives right now?
Honestly, I think God. I think God is the resource that we go to last. We'll ask our friends about a problem, or we'll watch Dr. Phil, or we'll read the latest Oprah magazine, and we're so hungry, and that's a good sign, but we're not really going to that source, to that quiet time. And it's in that quiet time that we're going to get answers that are so specific to us. Each of us has such a different path, and being on a daily basis, being in that quiet place and getting that kind of revelation is so essential, because it's different than what other people's path is.
Well, and I think that in that quiet space, that question you ask, what's the thing that you maybe have forgotten? And so that's a perfect place to find that answer, to really have courage to go into that, to give ourselves permission to be quiet and let the answer come.
And another thing too, I can't say enough about friends, but here's what I tell my children. Look for friends that love God more than they love you. Because ultimately, we can have friends that tell us the answers we want to hear. And often when we're on a detour, they can come alongside of us and enjoy that kind of road with us. And that's not always the best. But if we put anchors around us that actually love God and have that vision that overrides their desire to please us, that they will actually call us to conviction when we need it. That's an accountability
a true friend.
partner. It is
Those
a
are
true
the
friend.
ones who aren't afraid to do that.
Right.
Are true friends.
And I think going through addiction, some years ago, what I realized was those people that would help me the most were the people that would call me on the carpet. And boy, you have friends like that, and your life is powerful.
And hold you to be your best self. Hold
Exactly.
you accountable to be your very best self.
and see you that way,
Yeah.
and know it's possible.
I know that our women who are watching are going to want to go to your show, Succeeding Gracefully. Isn't that a wonderful title? I love that.
And she's such a beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, we have loved being with you. Such an amazing woman.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on. And we invite you all to go to thewinonline.com. Oh, we need to show the book.
Look at that.
Yes. This is her book.
Isn't that a
Oh my
great
gosh. Tell
How
really
tough
quickly
moms
we're all-
succeed in tough times.
How tough moms succeed in tough times. Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
And at the Win, you're going to get solutions. People like Tiffany are going to help you discover solutions, and you're going to share your wonderful ideas and really connect with women worldwide. Have a wonderful day and choose to live joyfully with passion and purpose.
It's the Women's Information Network. It's the Win.